Dragon Ball YouTubers. Something that barely existed 2 years ago has now become something, especially with Dragon Ball Super, that people just expect to be a thing. And around this time last year, I made a video titled The 7 Types of Dragon Ball Z Fans that was pretty much encompassing everyone who even knew anything about Dragon Ball. However, this is going to be a little bit more specific. Since this whole Dragon Ball thing has grown and grown and grown, I think it's time to make these 7 types of Dragon Ball YouTubers. Now, I want to start off very average. These guys cover everything. I like to call these guys the everything. You'll see these guys cover Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, and even the new games. Pretty much as the name implies, they are the everything of the Dragon Ball community.
And now, fast forward a couple of years later, this man is as skinny as fucking Starvin' Marvin from South Park. This dude literally had to wear a fucking Olympic green tracksuit to hide the shame and embarrassment.
Literally everything. Now here's where things take a turn for the worst. Coming up next, these guys are known as the Vanished. These are the YouTubers who have a large following, a large Dragon Ball following specifically, but they're vanished. They're nowhere to be found. After days turn into weeks, turn into months, even years sometimes, there is still no word on these YouTubers. Am I making this more sad than it really needs to be, just as an excuse to use this song? Absolutely. Now, taking things up to a lighter note, this is a very new adopted form of making Dragon Ball videos. I like to call these guys the characters. Basically, they're Dragon Ball characters who have their own YouTube channels.
Hello, yes, I'm Lord Frieza. I'm calling to place a complaint. I've been watching Dragon Ball Kai, and I want to know who is impersonating me in the video game.
You know, I never thought making Dragon Ball videos would get to this stage. I never actually thought it would have the Lord Frieza himself. Oh, but he isn't the only one.
Well, hello, my followers. It's me, your Prince Vegeta.
I feel like this could easily get out of hand. Next, we're gonna have some guy trying to be Poit. As soon as that happens, I'm out. Moving on to the next one, it's something that I wish I was. The Xenoverse Professionals. Once upon a time, I took place in the C-Reacts games. Right, here it is.
Is it time?
My ultimate technique.
You're gonna regret it, I promise you. Okay. It was a good match, guys.
Oh,
it was a good match, but...
It's like you knew. It's like you, how'd you know?
Because you stopped and put
You said it before it even hit me.
You put your hands up like I had a gun pointed at you, so I was like, alright, well.
I tried, I really did. But my opponent, you could call him a god. The class, the levels of class between me and him, I basically got completely outclassed. And with Xenoverse 2 dropping in a few months, I feel like this list of competitive Xenoverse players is only going to grow much, much larger. Taking out the next one, we have the critics. These are the guys who have the unpopular or usually the most unbiased opinion.
Stop defending this fucking series. It is a bad series.
I notice a lot of people in the comment section generally point out how much they dislike Dragon Ball Super, but I rarely see any YouTubers, besides a few, who actually point out stuff that they don't like. Taking out the second to last spot, we have the absolutely insane.
Incest is wincest.
Now obviously that's just a YouTube persona. A lot of other YouTubers use personas. They don't actually act like how they are in real life. That's totally fine, but the stuff that this guy says...
Incest, a game the whole family can play. Like my mother always said, if you can't keep it in your pants, keep it in the family. If you can't keep it in your pants, keep it in the family.
Taking out the final spot is what I like to call the kids. YouTube's main audience is kids, so naturally there are going to be a lot of kids uploading and creating content. And one of my favorites is a guy by the name of Ronnie. Now I've known about this guy for about a year. From what I remember, he used to make theory videos, he used to make videos about other YouTubers, and he always used to make videos on Aquaman.
You shall work for Aquaman. You shall be slaves for Aquaman. You are the underlings of Aquaman. Punishment for not doing what Aquaman says.
You've got to be kidding. Now a lot of kids, when they get on YouTube, they don't really know what to do. They don't really know what they're doing. Call this a cop-out spot if you want, but I needed something at the end here and I couldn't quite think of 7, so Ronnie's the first guy that came to mind. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. This has been the 7 types of Dragon Ball YouTubers, and until we meet again, I will see you in the next Dragon Ball video.